What's good, guys? What's good with you all? What's good with you all? I know we're just coming in. I know everybody is still just coming in. They're still just trying to get their things together. So honestly, I'm still just promoting this out to let people know this is what I'm gonna do before I go on to actually take a break. Right after this. So we're on episode 13. Episode 13 of the lightning round. I haven't done the lightning round in at least what feels like. Let me see. When was the last time I did it? It's really been almost a month since I last did an episode. Uh, it's been, it's great having to actually sit back and, do this once in a while, especially since for the topics I got to talk about today. So, for anyone that doesn't see it, so the topics we're going to be talking about for today are the things that's going on with Twitch and Glimesh. Twitch with the hate reads and stuff like that going on. Glimesh having the weird disarray. I know I talked about it a little bit on I believe it was on Friday right before I started Yakuza, but I didn't. I hope I didn't talk about it too much in depth. But if I end up repeating the same things, then so be it. Still, it doesn't change with what's going on over there. Um, Deshaun Watson and his situation, of course, where it's not necessarily getting any better, and of course, another thing that's not exactly better right now is, of course, my mental health. So, um, to get it out of the way real quick, I'm gonna address and, of course, talk about my mental health first. I think that should be first and foremost with what's going on with me. To start from the top, uh, I have to say, I personally felt like we're gonna talk about mental health first. So for anyone that's still here, thank you for having to come by. Having to take mental health seriously, as should everyone um, with this whole thing. So to start from the top with the whole mental health thing, I guess if I had to say for what caused it to be at the situation it's at now is, I'm gonna be honest. The schedule I'm low key running, it's not tight per se, but it's still enough to where you'll be it's still enough to where you'll have a lot going on in your mentals. Like, it slowly gets at you. Like, you won't feel it at first, but you'll feel it like a little later on when it continues. So for everyone that does not know what type of schedule I do, I'm just gonna show y'all this real quick, so then that way you'll get a good idea of what I really do. Alright, so as you can see from the schedule right here, this is practically what I do every week whenever I have the chance. So Sunday, if you just ignore Smash Brothers for a bit, um, Sunday is basically one of those days where I run a football league. I run a football league, fantasy football league with NCAA football 2006. So I run that. I try to run the games. I try to put up the games every Saturday. Every Sunday. But what people don't know is there's times where I cannot record every game. So I sit back and I can't back and blah. There's times where I can't stream every game. I'm sorry, I can't stream every game. But then there's times where I would have to improvise and I would just have to record the game and then just put them up there. And then of course not long after that I have to you know prepare for 8:30 where I sit up there and I do my night stream on 8:30. Of course, right now it's still Metal Gear Solid. Tuesday I have an off day. 8:30 I do Monster Hunter, or whichever game I want to do on Wednesday. Thursday it's not necessarily movie night. I only did it because it was Monster Hunter. Um, but yeah, Thursday it's really wrestling night. That's what that is. And then of course Friday would be my Friday stream, and then Saturday it would be Saturday it would be a Smash night. That's the kind of schedule I have right now that I deal with. pretty much on a weekly basis. So I guess over time you could say with having this kind of schedule in mind, with having this much stuff to do, is going to take a toll on you, and that's definitely one of them. So yeah, so there's that. There's the schedule, and then of course y'all know I have a Guilded server. So for people that don't understand, okay, why do you have a Guilded server? What happened to your Discord? I explained it a couple episodes back, so I'll make it short. If you guys want to see a full explanation for what happened with that, you have that episode right there for you, where it's in a playlist on YouTube. I think it's episode 11 or 12. It's one of those, to where I explained everything that happened in that old Discord. So what's been happening with me with my Guilded server is I'm happy for the people that's been there. I'm happy for the people that that really like being there, that really love to chill there and everything like that. With especially with how I have everything set up over there. But as of late, I started to notice this. Now, maybe with me, I started to notice it because it was all I've seen every time I get on it. Either it's through my browser or it's uh, through the app itself, where I don't know why, but I see it where every time I look at the right side of my screen and I see it's just offline all over the place. So of course, for people that don't notice with me, where with the old Discord server I have, that's all I had was people that were either offline or they just didn't really want to be here. And for me, what my goal was initially was to make it a spot so a lot of people can come in and they can get to know one another. They can get to experience different stuff. That's practically what my goal was and what I had it for. So then that way, okay, you're not just interacting with one person all the time. You can interact and you can bond with specific people. And I'm sure that's a goal with everybody. But for me, I really wanted to stress that point home. So it came to a point where I felt like it was just a dead area. So much of a dead area to a point where I started to kick people out that weren't really there to just interact. They were just there because I don't know why. I can't understand. For reasons for coming by besides hearing for notifications or just lurking around. But uh, that was practically all that was practically it. So of course you go over to the Gilded server after having to experience something like that, that happened on the Discord. You understand why I feel the way that I felt the way that I did. But yeah, for me it just off that, I felt like it wasn't really going all that well. I felt like I put up a lot of stuff for it to not really, you know, for a lot of people to, not really use it, with such a small community that I guess was slowly starting to be a waste of having all this stuff up there. If that makes any sense, I hope it does. But basically, to put it speaking, it felt like I felt like I hated having to do it, but I felt like I was resorting to the habits that I had to resort to. I was getting to back at the old Discord. And it didn't take till one of my moderators to really let me know how bad of a decision that I was making with having to do another purge of people. Where I had like, if I had to say, on the guild server, I had like 50, 60, maybe 50 people, I guess, around 50 people. But then I happened to end up cutting it down to around. Let me see here for a bit. I end up having to cut it down to around 36. Um, I understand, you know, people have lives to run. I understand that, everybody got life to run. Everybody, they got to, they got to deal with a job. They got to deal with, taking care of their kids. they gotta deal with tons of other stuff that's on their mind. I'm not oblivious to that fact. Hell, even for me, there's times where I want to break and I don't even want to really talk with people at a specific server at times. I definitely feel that way. But this is one other thing I also have to keep in mind with, to say the least, is where I know with a lot of people, Gilded isn't exactly their favorite site right now, and that's completely understandable considering it wasn't that long ago where people thought Discord was gonna get bought out, and then they were wondering, okay, where else can they go, and this and that. But I definitely understand that. I definitely get that for a lot of people that definitely ain't all that thrilled about it. But I guess for me it comes from a point of, it's kind of the same thing that I was dealing with back then, where I was interacting and I was enjoying all these specific spots. I was being there for all these specific spots, but people didn't really want to take the time out to come and see what I had. It felt like that all over again for me. I guess I guess you could say from that point that's where it started to trigger and started to make my mental state worse and worse. Where I constantly start questioning, what am I doing wrong? Is there something that I can do? Like, it came back from that again. And honestly, even if my mental state ends up being better, I'm still gonna end up asking, is there anything that I can do to make the place, more active? Is there any activities? Is there anything that that I could think of? I think with this is, I know there's specific things I can't necessarily do on there that I know a lot of people aren't too keen on having to do. Like, say if I let's take football for example. People don't exactly like American football per se. So say if I was to go out and if I was to make a fantasy league, a fantasy football league, like NFL.com, fantasy football league. If I did some stuff like that, I wouldn't really be, for me, I felt like with knowing the kind of community and knowing the kind of fan base I have, that if I was to put something like that out there, it'd really be a waste of time because I would be the only one that would be interested in it. So for me, what would be important is to know what kind of fan base you have. So that's why I knew like having stuff like that, it would be a waste of time to have up there. So for me, what I want is a spot where it's not just set on one thing. I love gaming to death, but I don't want that to be set on gaming. I love streaming to death, but I don't want that to be set on streaming. I want that to be set on all types of things that we can talk about. You know, not just games. Something that happens in our life. Something that happens on the news. Something that happen. Even though I don't like politics, but it can be still stuff that you can talk about that that be worth gauging a conversation with. With your fellow people. Um, it's stuff like that I have in my mind that I would want to talk with my people about, but I know not everyone is all that down with it. I practically do that, Naruto. I practically do that to where I sit up there and I do that with my football league right now. I don't know if you saw it on the schedule, but I practically do that where every Sunday I put up the football games that I do because NFL season's coming up. So I'm like, okay, for the time being, I might as well just get this done and be happy with it. And I'm happy I am doing it, but I know after a bit it takes a toll on you. Um, so there's a lot of things, practically yeah. It's just that when I see that there's not a lot of people that's interacting, I blame myself first before I sit up there and I really like put a whole lot of blame on everyone. Because for me, it's like I feel like okay, I'm server owner. Everyone says, I'm server owner. Everyone says I'm the boss, but yet at the same time, it's like I can't just sit up there and tell people, force people to, interact with one another. So for me doing what I was doing, this week, not even just with this week, but with back then on the Discord, I didn't really see it back then. I didn't really see it yesterday, where, of course, the cause and effect that it would take, having to do what I did, where I was purging people that weren't really there. And I'll be honest, having to hear that other point of view of it from yesterday, it opened my eyes from how bad of a decision that I was making, and that and honestly, it did kind of make it worse. But at the same time, it was something that I needed to read. Um, Even now, I'm still questioning myself. I'm questioning if I'm really cut out to be a server owner. I'm questioning if this is something that I can really do. I mean, don't get me wrong. I actually really like Gilded. I like what I have now with Gilded. I don't think I'm gonna leave there. I don't think I want to leave there, despite the fact that uh, all the issues that I know it has that I know they can correct. Uh, I quite like the place. My community likes the place too. The people that are there, the people that that love being there. Uh, they show that they love the show. They love to show me that they love to be there. But I don't know. There's just times like that where I feel like to see so many offline people, I feel like I had really had myself to blame. What do you mean by that? Honestly, I think I need to start looking. I need to start looking stuff like that up. Hold on. Hold on. But hey Marasa, how you doing? But yeah, pretty much yeah, pretty much that's essentially how I do want to look at it, because it's like I'm not really the type that's gonna sit up here and just start bossing people around. Like honestly, I can't even see myself being a boss at a real life job. For real, like I really can't see that. I mean, hell, I tried being a boss before. Remember when I had the stream team, and look how that went. That didn't exactly go well when I tried to be a boss or something. I'm happy for people to tell me, oh, I'm a great leader. I'm this and that. I don't really. I'm a great leader to a certain extent. For some people, they could say that I'm a great leader to a certain extent, but I can't say I'm not the type to sit up here and really, you know, like I don't know. I guess there's different forms of being a leader that I don't understand. But I guess with something like this, I mean, for me, having all of this, having to go to all of these spots, it doesn't right now, like it doesn't make me feel mentally better, because I feel like I'm losing myself with how much time I put into all of this and not enough time away from all of this. And it's crazy to say, because I don't start streaming till around 8 p.m. or 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. But a lot of people would be surprised. It didn't alert you. That's fine, Choco. That's fine. Don't worry. You're not missing a whole lot. You're not missing a whole lot. But I guess for me that's where all of this really feels, is where I feel like I'm back on this habit to where I put a lot of time into this. I put a lot of time into Gilded. I put a lot of time into Discord servers that are not even mine. I put a lot of time into streaming, And now do I feel like I'm getting a little like it's once again in that in the back of my mind because I hate feeling selfish is where I feel like I'm getting little in return, but I'm not capitalizing on the free time that I practically just gave myself to where, okay, I don't have to be on here today. I can just, go outside. I can just, do chores around the house, which honestly, I'm be completely 100% pure honest with you. I've not been able to really do any of my chores because I've been so dedicated and so focused to really try to get all of this up and running. Like that's how high of a maintenance level I've been trying to take this. So I guess you could say sooner or later, all of this is bound to happen. Having such a not complicated, but having a lot on my plate for a schedule and having to go to all of these places. And for me, it's like for me, with how I feel with having to go to all of these places, having to go to all of these discords is where I don't know if y'all feel this way, but for me, I feel like it's as if I don't be there, like if I'm not interacting there, I feel like for me, if I'm not interacting there, there's negative consequences that come with it. I don't know the exact right words I want to put on it right now, but that's how I feel with it. Where I feel like it's an obligation to really go to these spots and talk with these people and chill with these people. If y'all, if you get my point. But that's practically it. But for my mental state right now, with what I'm gonna do, I know I said I wasn't supposed to really do this. I'm really, really not supposed to be streaming right now because I told y'all I pretty much didn't want to stream throughout because of this whole thing. But what I'm gonna do when all of this is said and done is I need to get fully offline, like not be online, like not on here. Um, if not on here, but maybe a little bit on here and there, but not as much to a point where it's practically damn near taking over what I'm supposed to be doing. Particularly, with going outside, particularly with having to do chores around the house. Um, that is what I practically need to be, I practically want to do. So I think that's what I'm gonna do when all of this is really said and done. Cause I guess for me, you could say my goals for this has really been way too high, and I completely and I'm sure you guys understand why because I want this to be to be a solid spot. I want this to be a great spot for everyone to come in and they can you know chill out with everyone. I'm trying to push it so hard so it can be that exact thing. But I'm well aware and I know that this stuff it's gonna take a lot of time. Thank you for telling me to hydrate because I'm gonna do that. I need to hydrate. Thank you. I don't know. I mean, if you guys got any, yeah, thanks for that. But yeah, if you guys got any thoughts on this whole thing, I mean, you guys can feel free. You guys can feel free. But that's pretty much that's pretty much all I got out of my chest because I don't know. I guess for me, because I guess I'm still not right mentally right now. Having to feel the way that I felt from yesterday. Constantly having self doubt, constantly having uh, constantly questioning, if this is, if this is right to have up, I have so many doubts and so many questions on this, on if this is something that I can really do. The least I can do is just update y'all and tell you guys, particularly for people that are not there as much. Okay, what's my mental state? How am I feeling? This is how I'm feeling. Like I'm not even going to hide it. And if anything, it's kind of been hitting in itself because a lot of you guys didn't really know, for what I do, off stream. I told you enough to where I say I work out, but outside of that, there isn't really there isn't really much. But I would like to do more off stream, away from the internet and stuff like that. Because this hasn't been the first time we had a conversation like this. This is like what, the third one. If I had to take a guess, this is probably like the third conversation we've had over something like this, to where it feels like it's like the same thing. Third conversation we've had. When it goes to coming on here and talking about this. So if it feels like that. If there's no other, like, yeah, I do have one thing I want to talk about. One other thing I want to talk about. Of course, let me pull this up here. I'll let you guys still have your thoughts off with all of this, because I feel like with having this with mental health, having to talk about this with you guys with mental health, I feel like it's definitely important. It's definitely up there, for stuff like this. Having to vent, having to get all of this out. Because maybe then, maybe after a while I'll feel better. After a while. Um, but yeah, there's this I would definitely want to talk about, and I want to get my mind off of. It's this whole crazy situation going on with Twitch at the moment, where a lot of streamers, particularly African American streamers, or streamers that's of the LGBT, yeah, yeah, the gay community, um, apparently from them as of late, they've been catching a lot of hate raids, which has been absolutely insanity, and it's really a shame. So, for what can you say for something like this? You know, oh, you said you worry a lot. You said you worry a lot, but I believe in your ability to run the series. You've been doing an amazing job. I don't know why the community isn't interactive as much, but they're around. Yeah, yeah, pretty much. Thank you, Choco, for that. But yeah, for me, that's what I fear. I fear that if I'm not interacting, then the place is gonna be dead. That's really how I feel. That's really how I feel. And it was no different than how it was back on the old Discord. And Boruto, I mean, yeah, like Naruto, he knows he owns the old Discord server. I mean, he knows a semblance of what I'm talking about, to where you feel like, yo, you own the spot. I feel like, okay, you own the spot, you have to do the best you can. You have to be high maintenance to where you want to make it an interactive spot. Oh, for sure. Oh yeah, for sure, Choco. For me, I don't have to worry about hate raids because they don't go at the platforms that I'm on. They're really on Twitch the most. They're really on Twitch the most. That's why we gotta address this and talk about this. They're really on Twitch the most. If not, they're on Twitch all the time. Like, you'll see it right here. Like, I don't know if you guys can see it, but you see stuff like this where these hate raids are out of control. I feel bad for a lot of these streamers, particularly African American streamers, or people that are of the gay community, that are gay themselves. They're the ones that get these kind of situations, and it's really terrible. Um, all I can say with this, for Twitch to not address this situation, it says pretty much it pretty much says this the whole time, that not only I've been streaming, but for certain streamers that know about Twitch's bullshit, but then they left earlier than intended, before any of this start to really take effect. Twitch right now is practically like EA, in a sense where the only way you can really hurt a company like this is you have to not put money into a company like this. Now, I know there are other ways you can do that. Now, here's the deal. I'm not telling people like this to stop putting money on Twitch because of something like this. That's entirely up to you. If you want to stop putting money on this, um, if you want to stop putting money on Twitch, that is entirely up to you to do so. But I feel like with at the level Twitch is at, that is literally the only option left. It's the same thing as this with EA. It's the same thing as this with Activision. Take right now with Activision. With the shit they're going through, with the whole, sexual harassment, sexual this and that, and everything. You wanna know what people are doing right now to combat that? They're practically not playing their games. They're not buying any more of their games. Now, do I think that's going to be the case when it goes to Twitch, as in, okay, you're going to stop streaming Twitch? I sadly don't think that's the option. That's going to be the case. I mean, with me, when it goes to more variety, I'd like to see it, but do I think that's going to happen? No. I don't think that's going to happen in a long run. But this is what I would do if I was still on Twitch. I would, which I'm not, because I did pretty much what I set out to do, that I'm sure a lot of people can do. If people still have the urge, if people still have the itch to do streaming, but not stream on Twitch, you will take the time out and you'd find other alternative sites that are out there that are willing to be as similar as Twitch, or be unique or different in their own way, but still good, and you can have fun there. Like, take now with Trovo right now. I mean, I don't exactly like Trovo for being not as creative or anything like that, but if you look at it, that's exactly what I was about to say. But when you look at it, trouble starts to grow on you. Now, if I had to take a guess for why trouble would be growing on me and growing on the people here, like you, Choco, like you, like Bao, if he's here, Marasa, if you're still here, it's growing on us because, due to the fact that it's similar to Twitch, I say similar, not the same. Similar in a sense where they practically have it as, okay, we're like Twitch, but then we have our own little spin, our own little pieces to add into it, to make it Twitch a better version of Twitch, or what Twitch should be, in a sense. Yes, I'm still checking out streamers, checking out Real Mama Eagle here, but it's kind of like that. Yeah, I guess it's like that, Choco. It's the familiarity to where it's like you said, it's just easily accessible. That's why, if I had to say this, if I had to put it in a ranking system, if I had to put in a tier list for top alternative streams to go to if you still have that itch to keep on streaming, I'm going to put it like this. Trovo, in all honesty, is going to be at the top of the list because of the familiarity it has, because of how similar it is to Twitch. Trovo is at the top of the list. YouTube would be second on that list because while, yes, it's second on that list by default. And I say that because there's a lot of other stream sites out there that are really not as good. Let's keep it 100 here. DLive is not good. Period. They were good for a little bit, but then after that, they slowly teetered off. Now, me and Marasa, we know that all well and good because we used to stream on DLive and we had a lot of fun on DLive. And then afterwards, DLive started to take a completely different route, and it was not great the minute PewDiePie got there. So that's why with YouTube, they're literally second by default because DLive is not good. Glimesh, I'm about to get into. I'm about to tear into a new one here if I haven't already. And really, that's just it. I know third on the list, from what I'm seeing, this content creator's been constantly promoting it out. And I'm happy for her because she's having a lot of fun there. It's called Theta, I believe. Let's look this up. I think I have an account. I think I signed up to Theta. Yes, I did. I did sign up to the place because I wanted to support that one streamer. That's her right here. There's a Rashuna Tendo. She used to be on DLive as well. So this is another place. I'm still gonna have to say that's gonna have to be Trovo, honestly.
Six of spades. Yonex got about
4
million in chips.
I don't know. I don't exactly like Theta right now. I don't like the fact that for you to even sign up and stream to the place, what you basically have to do is you need to go and get a you have to hope they send you a stream key or some shit like that. I don't know if that's right. Here it is right here. Let me go and see. So basically with how they got it is they have to send you a stream key. You can't just have it right on there. For me, I don't know about y'all, but that's killing the point. But yeah, pretty much just like what Choco said. I mean, if anything, number one on the list would have to be Trovo. Point blank period. I mean, let's take a look here. I mean, if you were gonna go over from Twitch to Trovo, I mean, the only issue I see with Trovo, if you were going over from Twitch, is the way how the games are handled. I mean, let's take a look here. Is that Mr. Throwback over there? Yes, that is. That's Mr. Throwback over there. Oh shit. But let's see how they're doing these games. I mean, right now it's Call of Duty Mobile, PUBG Mobile, Fortnite, Apex Legends, Valorant, League of Legends, Free Fire, Call of Duty Warzone, Minecraft. I'm surprised I see Hitman Absolute isn't even on this list. Let me see why it's on this list. That's why it's on this list, because otherwise it wouldn't be on here. Pokemon Unite has definitely been one of the main games up there. Dota 2, Sea of Thieves, PUBG original, Grand Theft Auto, Roblox, Dragon Ball Z. The fuck is Dragon Ball Z doing here? Now we know why Dragon Ball Z is doing here. Is that man playing Tenkaichi? Yeah, get my follow just for that because it's hard to see people play a game like that. It's hard for me to see people play a game like that. But that goes to my point. That goes to my point with how they have these games right now is where am I up here? Yes, I am. Hey, let's go. Um, but that goes to my point to where you see all the games, you see all the stuff you have up here, and it's mainly a mobile centric site at the moment. You see mobile stuff has pretty much taken over. You see games like Apex Legends, like Fortnite, like Valorant, like League of Legends. That kind of stuff is practically taken over. Now, I have to say with this, it's like what Choco said, it's a rebuilding community. It's a rebuilding community. So right now, if you're streaming there, you're not gonna see a whole lot of people play a lot of the games you would expect to look for. So right now, if I look up Monster Hunter, let's take Monster Hunter, right? Because I'm guaranteed I see this. You look up Monster Hunter. This is what you're gonna see with Monster Hunter right now. Monster Hunter World 0, Monster Hunter Series 0, Monster Hunter Rise 0. Because right now it's not big yet to where you can afford to play Monster Hunter on here, or let's take I'm gonna take Battlefield. I'm gonna say Battlefield's up here. It's crazy to me. Yeah, because same thing right here with Battlefield. Battlefield 4, Battlefield 3, 0. Battlefield series, 8 people. Honkai, yeah, Choco, same thing, especially with Honkai, which is crazy to me. Because Honkai Impact Zero is technically a mobile game. Honkai Impact Zero. Honkai Impact Third is technically a mobile game. So you think, okay, well, Honkai Impact Third, you're gonna see some people here and there. No, that's not the case. Now, why that's not the case is because of the fact that MiHoYo didn't exactly do a good job promoting Honkai to the extent that they promoted Genshin. No punishing Great Raven either. So you'll be surprised. Now, I would say a bit of it. See, punishing Great Raven right here. Now, if I had to take a guess, the reason why these two games are not as high up on the list is because of the fact that, one, Genshin Impact is easily accessible everywhere. It's not just on mobile. It's on PC, it's on the PS4, it's on the Xbox. That's why it's so easily accessible. Because it's on 3 consoles plus a PC plus on phone. Just off that, and on top of that, people like the game. So you add that, you got recipe for success with Genshin just about everywhere. Now, Honkai Impact 3rd, I'm going to constantly promote this till the day I die. Honkai Impact 3rd, Genshin's on Switch? Genshin's on Switch? This true? If Genshin's on Switch, this is even more with what I'm talking about. But I didn't even know that Genshin was on Switch. That's the crazy thing about it. But as you guys can see, this is what I'm talking about. This is the only streamer right now playing Honkai Impact 3rd. One of the only few streamers playing Honkai Impact 3rd. But this is the problem. I mean, there's only 2 ways you can play Honkai Impact 3rd. You can only play it through phone, or you could play it through the PC. That's why I said if you're gonna transfer over from Twitch to Trovo, to be more technical now, because we got the PS5 and Xbox Series X out, thank you, Choco, is because, now you can play Genshin through there. You don't even have to play Genshin through just the PS4 and Xbox Series, Xbox One. You can play it on the updated consoles right there. So, technically, That's like six consoles. No, I'm sorry, no, 4 consoles: PS4, Xbox One. I'm sorry, yeah, PS4, Xbox One, Nintendo Switch, PS5, Xbox Series X. That's 5 consoles you can play Genshin Impact on. Compare that to Punishing Gray Raven and Honkai Impact, you only have 2 spots. That's PC and mobile. Demonic, how you doing? How you doing, bro? So you have 2 spots compared to those 5. Genshin Impact is easily going to be accessible everywhere. So that's why right there that you don't see many people streaming these games, because they don't have the accessibility to do so. I'm happy to hear that you're doing all right, bro. Yeah, I'm just getting this episode out the way. I already vented about my mental state with how I'm feeling. Um, so if you want to, you can look back at this when I get this uploaded on YouTube eventually, because I know not everybody, they're not gonna want to subscribe there. Oh, speaking of that, let me go ahead and mention one other thing that's going on, since we're still at this topic when it goes to Twitch streamers wanting to move over and they still want to stream at specific spots. Let me go ahead and bring this up right here too. When it goes to the little quote unquote affiliate system, this is how they do it on Trovo real quick. This is how they do it. So how they do it is something called growth, I guess, to where at level 0 when you start out, you see how similar it is to affiliate. You could see it right in front of your face. While I'll go ahead and pull up something like the affiliate system right here when it goes to Twitch. So let me do this real quick. So you'll see firsthand, side by side, exactly. Well, not necessarily side by side, but you'll see my point with how similar it is. Let me. Not from here, I guess. Hold up. Where are you? Community. Insight. There you go. Insight. So you see it from right here. Path to partner. Path to affiliate. There you go. So you see right here, path to affiliate. To get affiliate on Twitch, you need to get 50 followers. You need to stream for 8 hours. You need to stream for 7 different days. And you need to have an average of 3 viewers. This is just to get to affiliate. Now, what they don't show you on affiliate is for affiliates, at the time when you were starting out, you needed to get, what was it? Here it is. Oh, okay, because I'm not an affiliate anymore, it does not going to do that. But yeah, basically to explain, for affiliate, this is the perks that you get. So you get to have transcoding. You got to have transcoding as an affiliate. When you're not an affiliate, you don't get transcoding. So whatever people watch on there, let's say if you stream at 720p, that's all people get. If you stream at 1080p, that's all that people get. So basically you have to make it an objective to get to affiliate, so that way everyone can watch your streams at this specific transcoding. And may I also add that transcoding, it doesn't stay on there, it comes and goes. So there you go. There's that for you when it goes to affiliate. Another thing when it goes to affiliate is you have to reach a certain threshold for you to get more emotes. So let me go and explain it. When you're first starting out as an affiliate, you only get 3 emotes, and you have to use them wisely, along with some sub badges. Sub badges, I believe, there are also 3, but when you slowly start to grow, when you slowly start to come into your own with your own community, you get more and more emotes and sub badges as it all goes along. I think when it goes to the past broadcast system with how they do it on Twitch, I believe you only have 14 days till your past broadcast goes away. Now what you can to highlight the combat this is you can basically put it all up as a highlight and it'll stay up there for good. Another option you could do is you could put it all up on YouTube, and there you go. It'll stay all up there for good. That is as far as I know with what benefits you get as an affiliate, at least when starting out streaming on there. Now, when it goes to you getting paid on Twitch, you have to reach a $100 threshold And if you don't reach that $100 threshold throughout the month, it'll go ahead and roll over until you actually get it. You have to wait until a specific date to where Twitch will go out there and they will actually pay you through your PayPal or pay you through your bank account. That is as far as I know with how things go with being a Twitch affiliate. This is on top of the fact that you don't get discovered as much. So now let's go on Trovo. So basically how this works on Trovo is like this. You're technically not necessarily technically an affiliate by the time you start out. So basically you're going to start out at level 0, of course. Level 0, this is the perks of level 0. They actually tell you, they highlight and show you. So you get 20 moderators. You have 4 hours. So let's say if somebody pins something, they get to pin it for 4 hours and it'll stay up there as a message. Basically the only way they'll have to pin it is they'll have to use it through Elixir, which is their like bits, so to speak. Just like that. You know how I mentioned 14 days of storage when it goes to Twitch? Well, you have 14 days of storage when it goes to not only the past streams, but you sadly have 14 days of storage when it goes to clips. So with Twitch, with you being an affiliate there, your clips stay up for good. But on Trovo, your clips is limited. So what I would recommend doing to even combat this, which is not too big of a problem, I download the clips and I just upload them on the sites I want to upload them to anyway. Like for me, I use Metal. I use Metal.tv to upload them. Or I would use my Guilded server to upload my clips, and that's not a problem. They're over and done with. So that's not too big of a problem. Or I also upload them to Twitter. So with clips having 14 days of storage, it's not a big deal breaker because I upload them anywhere else. I don't care. The path to get to level 1, of course they show you. You need to stream for 5 hours and you need to have 20 followers. For level 1, to get to level 1, when you finally get there, the perks of being level 1 is you'll have 30 moderators, so you can pretty much mod a whole fucking chat squad if you want to. Like right now, I got Choco as a mod. If I want, I could have Demonic as a mod, Marasa as a mod, Boss Lady as a mod, Naruto as a mod, Bao as a mod. I can have all these people with mods, and I don't even have to care. I won't even have to worry about that because I have so many more left over. So you have 6 hours. So instead of it being 4 hours of a pin effect, you have 6 hours. You get to have channel subscriptions. Yeah, Choco, that's what I mentioned when it goes to the perks of having a level 1. You get to have so many freaking mods. Like I could have you could literally have 30 mods, and you have you feel like, okay, I got space for like 1 or 2 more. I don't care. You could go mod heavy if you want to, if you're that kind of streamer. But yeah, for perks level 1, when you finally get to level 1, after streaming for 5 hours, I know. I can make him a mod though. In fact, I'm gonna do that now. I'm gonna do that right now, cause why not? In fact, let me go and do it just to, yeah. Yes, I do have to, cause I love Bao. Bao's amazing. Just to show, just to really just doing it, cause why not? But yeah, pretty much. Basically, yeah. Basically, that's how all of this goes. Once you get to level 1, this is what you get when you're level 1. Level 1 is where you finally get access to channel subscriptions. People will be able to go ahead and drop subs on you and drop gift subs on you if they feel like it. You can actually receive spells. So spells on here is basically their way of like your own. Okay, I will do that in a bit. Basically, yeah, spells are like that, Choco. Thank you. Spells are like this, where you be like, okay, stay safe, on fire. They're basically like their own version of yeah, they're like their own version of like channel points, I guess, with mana. That's basically what that's like. Now I have custom ones right here where it says 200, for hydrate, like Choco just did. So let me go ahead and hydrate. where it says one right here for hydrate and one right here for giving a compliment. So if people want me to give a compliment to them, I'll give a compliment with no problem. Cause this is basically their little spin on channel points, and I'm like, okay, that's all well and good. I'll try the best I can to make that work. That's not too big of a problem with me. So you have that. You have monetization and payouts. Now to show what the monetization and payouts look like, basically, this is how it all goes. So it'll tell you right here you need to reach the minimum requirements before you can actually sit up there and get a payout. So it says you need to reach the level 1 streamer requirement, and then after that you need to have 5,000 redeemable gems. Now I'm gonna look up what the redeemable gems are. I know, I'm sorry for my spelling. My apologies, Bow. For some reason, people didn't know that I was streaming. I don't know why. Um, Let me see. I don't exactly know how much the gems are worth in actual money. Maybe I can actually go to someone. Okay, never mind. It says payment method, transaction fees. Okay, wire transaction, PayPal, resident. I think I know. Yeah, they don't exactly tell you. They'll tell you like in USDs and dollars and stuff like that, but they don't exactly tell you. Like you have to ask somebody that's been on Trovo for a good minute to tell you. Okay, what does 1K, in 1K in Trovo mean when it goes to gems? So I don't exactly know about that yet. But when I do know, I'll be sure to make a comment down on the video when this is uploaded on YouTube to be like, okay, this is what 1K means, in Trovo, when it goes to their gems. But this is the earnings that I have here thus far. I'm actually pretty close. So what it says here is you need to get 5K, right? I'm at 3,075 gems. So you can thank people like Bozosuki and Bao and, yeah. $100 elixir is 1 cent. What they do, let me see. You have 1.5K on, yeah, that's mana. That's basically their own form of like, how it was with Mixer back then? It's kind of like that. It's like that with how it was with Mixer, where they had this in-stream currency thing. Mana, yeah, mana is free bits. Elixir is paid bits. That's basically what that is. Yes, premium paid currency. Yeah, there you go. There you go. Thank you, Choco. But yeah, that's basically what that is. Now, apparently all of this stuff they transfer over into gems. I need to look up exactly how much is 3K gems worth. Yeah, apparently so. Apparently, yeah, you do. At least as far as I know. I'm gonna look it up here. I'm looking around the earnings here. It says for gems, it's through like Elixir, I guess. That's all I see it for is for Elixir. It's either for Elixir with bits, premium currency, or through subscriptions, subscribing, that kind of stuff. At least that's what I see. I don't think you do actually get it. I don't think so. It does do something. Mana does have its uses. I will tell you that. Mana actually does have its uses. A lot of people don't know that, but mana does have some good use. Now, I'm going to go ahead and explain what mana has the use for. Basically, to put it up here, mana has uses like this where it can help me get on the front page. Now, that may not seem as useful at first, but that actually is very useful when you want your favorite streamer to sit up there and be more recognized through your people. So that's basically what that is. Yeah, it's basically exposure. It's basically through exposure. It's basically the player, to play around with the streamer. It's something like that. So it's not exactly a whole lost cause when you have mana up here. So yeah, that's essentially how it all works. Now I know I kind of got off track because I explained how things worked on Trovo, because I know we're supposed to be talking about Twitch, and I talked about enough with their hate raids, but yeah, that's basically what that is when you're going over to these platforms. Um, you have this here for you. It's not a good alternative, not yet, because Trovo still has a lot to grow. Trovo still has a lot that they have to do, but um it has a lot going for it. Next, I need to talk about this. Not even next. I need to lastly explain this whole thing when it goes to Twitch. For any people, any African American streamer, any any gay streamer that still wants to stream, you have your alternative sites there. Now it's up to you whether or not you want to sit up there and make it work. It is entirely up to you. Whether you want to go to other spots and feel welcome. I would say this: I've been on Trovo for about what feels like a month now, and I've been having a lot of fun there. But even though I'm having fun on the site, that won't mean that you will have fun, or anyone else in particular would have fun too. Now, I only pointed out the similarities that Trovo has to Twitch. Should you want to check the site out, it is entirely up to you. Now, you see the pros and cons that I already gave you up at display, where there's not many games you want to see here. There's not many stuff you want to see here, which is a sad part about it, because they have some good stuff here. They have some good stuff that can really sit up here and be a solid alternative, but at the same time, it doesn't have the fan base yet. It does not have the fan base yet, and it doesn't have the games yet to really be called said solid competitor. Nor is this, it doesn't have the accessibility. Whereas with Twitch, you can stream just about everywhere. You can stream it on the consoles. You can stream it on YouTube. YouTube and Twitch has that accessibility, while Trovo doesn't yet, and that's what they need to work on. Um, in that, but besides that, this is a solid spot. This is a solid spot you can go to. I was supposed to talk about Glimesh. I took like 30, 40 minutes talking about Twitch, and then getting sidetracked and talking about Trouble. I need to talk about Glimesh. I know I talked about it. I talked a little bit about it yesterday, but I need to go more in depth with this, because this is actually, it's not well. You know what I'm saying? It's not a good thing in particular. Let me point it out like this. Glimesh devs, particularly ones that are named Paco and Clone, are out here either ignoring streamers, such as what Clone is doing, where ignoring people's feedback or some shit like that, or in the case of Paco, where he's sitting up here and he's just bashing these streamers and giving them a bad and kind of giving a bad direction with where Glimesh should go. Now, a streamer named Blue Spice has already talked about a little bit of this, so in case if you guys have not seen it, I'm gonna go ahead and put up his video here so you guys can practically see. I like the amount that he explained about this is nothing compared to, well, it's a lot. I'm sorry, I'm not saying it's nothing. It's a lot compared to what I have to say. So have this for yourself.
Salutations, weary travelers. Blue Spice here, in my opinion. So hopefully this will get the higher ups at Glimesh the ability to address the problems more openly and come up with solutions. Now, in the event that they decide to try and constantly deny these issues exist, then that's that. I'm making this video to try and help them improve and nothing more. What they choose to do with this after is up to them. Now, I've been in contact with various community members, ex-staff and current staff, and I've promised all these individuals anonymity, So no screenshots in that like are going to be shared. Instead, this is something that we'll be discussing and talking about. It is up to these users to post the evidence that they've shown me, and personally, I found the evidence they've shown me to be quite disturbing. And of course, you're more than welcome to do your own research on what I'll be discussing. All of the ex and current staff, as well as community members, acting in an increasingly inappropriate manner towards staff have brought to me are that Paco, the current manager over at Glimesh, has been acting in an increasingly inappropriate manner towards members of the community and staff over the past several months. So let's get into it. For starters, let's talk about how you, the community members, are being treated. On the public side of things, for the most part, you're treated well. There are times, however, when Paco or Clone, when in disagreement with users, will be quite rude to them, even if it's something as simple as a difference of opinion. And it's gotten to the point where the community members would leave because of those actions taken by Paco and Clone. Now, behind the scenes, certain community members are treated quite differently, whether that's better or worse. In these staff chats, if you're a community member that the staff dislikes, they're absolutely talking complete garbage about you. Now, that is something that doesn't matter too much, as it isn't the public's direct view, but it's certainly something that needs to be stopped, as it leads to bias when dealing with these community members. And of course, there are those times when these staff members will talk badly about you in the public as well. Now let's get into the lengthy bits on how current and ex staff members have been treated. First up, let's talk about the bias that it has towards different members of staff and essentially how a type of clique has formed. Now, before I get into this, I can understand that cliques are normal and hard to control, but when a clique starts to affect how everything happens, then it becomes a serious problem that needs to be discussed and fixed. Anyhow, there's a clique within the staff team that if you, as a staff member, are not a part of, then you effectively do not matter. Your opinions are largely unvalidated, the effort you put into the site is not valued, and you'll likely be targeted more often than not by management, specifically Paco.
I'm going to tell you, if you guys want to watch the rest of that video, I will put the link down in the chat, and I'll put the link down in the description should you guys want to watch it. I said this on Friday. I will say this again. Glimesh devs, such as those two, are literally in zero position to be out here doing this to not only to people in their own community team, but to also streamers themselves, because you're making yourself out to be just as toxic as the other stream sites that we have dealt with before. And in the case of Glimesh, they literally have zero room for it. Now, why I say they have zero room for it is because here's the deal. Glimesh right now seems like they have zero direction with where they want to take their updates. Now, right now as we speak, they still don't have a mobile app. That's why it was so hard for people like Bao and Choco to really go on the site and interact there, because because it's like they love having to watch through their phone. In fact, a lot of people love having to watch through their phone. Even with Marasa at times, she wanted to come by and watch and chill. She couldn't even do it because of how limited Glimesh presented. Like, they don't have a mobile app. You have limited amount of emotes you can work with. The FTL is great and all, but the problem with that is the fact that I kept disconnecting. So I can say it like this. Websites like this that's supposed to be up and running and it hasn't even been a year yet, they don't last long. They don't last long. So for Glimesh to be acting like that the way that they have been, for those Glimesh devs to be acting like that the way that they have, if they don't change that attitude, Glimesh will not be around in the next 3 years. Is what it is. You've had 2, maybe 3, really 3 valuable members of your team sat up there and left. They sat up there and left. I talked about it yesterday, whereas Rose Shadow, she left. I believe that's her name. Rose Shadow? Yeah, she left. She was a pretty damn good member, because anytime I sat up there and I go to Glimesh team meetings and I see her there, she was very hyped and very happy to be there. So to see that she sat up there and left, yeah. That didn't exactly cause any warnings for me at first, but what did cause a warning with me was when Ember left. When Ember, who was once again one of the most valuable people in that team, on that team, when I found out that she left, that's when my alarm started to go off. That's when I was questioning, like, what the fuck are y'all doing over there? To the point that she left. To the point that her mental state wasn't right. Now, maybe I can't say this. I don't know if they did anything to her mental state. I'm not going to speak for Ember because she can speak for herself. She's a grown woman. She's blunt as it can get. If anybody can speak for herself, it's Ember. I'm not going to talk on her mental state, but this is what I do know. The fact that y'all practically pushed her to the point that she left there said enough to me. Something was going on. And of course, for Glimesh to be, as they say, transparent, right? You're supposed to be transparent towards your people, right? Transparent towards your devs, transparent towards yourself, transparent towards your streamers. To see that there's no transparency and instead to see that there's people that are, that you're being biased to, is not a good look. Because you're practically lying to those people that left Twitch because they felt like Twitch was being biased in every sense of the word. That felt like YouTube was being biased in every sense of the word. So you're lying to those exact people with what you preach, with what you're trying to preach. Practice what you preach. This does not add on to the fact that for what I said yesterday, this continues to add on for what I said yesterday to where I said with Paco, to where you sit up there and you're berating and you're yelling at these people and you don't even pay them. How you want people to work hard for something that you're not paying them for? I don't think people understand. Coding is not fucking easy. So here's the deal. Knowing it's not as easy as it is, where's my payment? Where's my $100 an hour? Yes, I said $100 an hour. Coding is not that fucking easy. Very, very difficult to do. Just like how it is with building PCs for some people. It's not easy. Because they're scared to make a mistake. Like how it is with coding. So I'm like, okay, so where's my money? When one particular person sat up there and when they vented on Twitter and said that they made an extension for Glimesh, they only found out that they didn't get paid from them, I definitely understood his frustration. I completely understood his frustration. Because you took that time out to go ahead and do that. And you did that for them. Now, I don't know if they asked for it, but at the same time, the way I see it, you should be paid for that. Probably not a whole lot of money if you were like on the salary like with the dev team, but like at the end of the day, here's how I feel with it. None of they said it themselves, none of them gets paid. None of them gets paid. The devs don't get paid. The streamers may get paid if people want to subscribe, but then that goes back to my other point with how limited Glimesh is. Is say right now you guys want to go ahead and drop a subscribe, right? That's it. You can only drop one subscribe. You can't gift sub anybody. You don't have bits. You don't have VODs. This goes to my point. Like you guys are in no position to be sitting up here doing what you're doing. So I know right now that they said that they're going to address this. Now, right now it's August. Glimesh usually does a monthly team meeting. It used to be weekly, but then they switched over to monthly. To hear these kind of reports come out with them, this is a website that's set for disaster if this is what you're seeing. If this is what, we're talking about. I don't know about you guys, but any site that's supposed to be up and coming, like Glimesh is, you don't do this. You don't alienate your people. I mean, like, you don't do this to your people. You don't do this to the people that set up there and they put the time in for, to come here. I mean, shit. I gave up my affiliate status to go there. I gave up my affiliate status to go to Glimesh, and for them to be like this, the way that they are to people after the fact, is kind of crazy. Now, the reasons why I left Glimesh was the simple fact that I left there. I left there because of the disconnects and the issues that I was having over at the site. I liked the site. I liked the potential the site had. But there was just too much. So to see that Glimesh is out here picking, choosing streamers when they want to like, when they don't want to like, no, you're supposed to be calling this shit down the middle. You don't pick and choose who you want, who you want to like and dislike like that. Like, no, you stay fucking neutral. So in a way, you're alienating specific people in your own fan base when you do that. People that sit up there and they want to hang, they want to see what this site's got. Something like that. It's never the best way to go. It's never the route to choose. But yeah, thank you, Blue Spice, for making this video, for shedding some light on this situation. Now, Glimesh is supposed to sit up there and address this. Hopefully, they will address it tomorrow. Because to see something like this come up, it's a hit to their reputation. To what we expected them to be. You have one of the people out here who's a part of this, said, part of Glimesh, said, thank you for broadcasting this issue. I hope Glimesh takes this information in the correct manner, and I hope they do. This is literally their most watched, this is literally Blue Spice's most watched video. Like, on his channel. This is his most watched video. You look back, you look at all his content, 84, I'm sorry, this is, 84, 330, 318. Yeah, this is officially his most watched video. And a lot of people that came by to watch, they were aware, they were either aware of what was going on with Glimesh beforehand when they left, or like they're just now seeing it and they're still a part of it, but they, they see something like this and hope that Glimesh addresses this. Now, for me personally, I hope Glimesh addresses this, because I want Glimesh to be a site that sticks around. Don't get me wrong. I want them to be around for the next 3, 4, 5 years. I want to be here for as long as possible. But to do what you're doing, it's not it. It's not a good way to look at it. And honestly, from here, I guess that's where we can end it. That's where we can end it. We'll see what Glimesh has to say come Tuesday this week. Hopefully Tuesday this week. If not, Tuesday at some point. If not this week, if not this month, maybe they'll say something about it on next. Maybe they'll say something about it next month. But this isn't the best way to go. Alright, so one last thing I need to talk about for today, before I go on ahead and go off, is the Deshaun Watson situation. For people unaware, with Deshaun Watson, apparently with him, it's his situation has gotten a lot more worse. So, a Sports Illustrated article came out, and we're gonna read this Sports Illustrated article where it says, "This woman was asking me what I was wearing." I don't know if this is the part of the title. I guess it is. We'll see it right here. It says, by the time Ashley Solis met with the NFL investigators via Zoom call in April, she had already been cleared of the hurdles that come with bringing serious allegations against a high-profile celebrity in Deshaun Watson. They filed a suit against him describing sexual misconduct by the Texans quarterback. She forfeited her privacy by naming herself even before the courts required it, opening her up to a ton of online abuse. She also met with Houston police to file a report. Even after all that, Solis was taken aback by questions posed by the NFL investigators. Now, mind you, this is the NFL doing their own investigation with all of this. Not the courts, not the CIA, not anything like that. This is the NFL that's doing this. So keep that in mind when we continue reading. So this person said, this woman asked me what I was wearing, which honestly really pissed me off. Solis told Sports Illustrated in what was her first interview with the media outlet. She explained that that's something that she has to ask, which I don't believe at all. I'm not sure what I'm supposed to be wearing that would suggest that I don't want you to put your penis on my hand. Do I need to wear a turtleneck? While Lisa Frail and Jennifer Gaffney, former prosecutors who now run the NFL's personal conduct investigations, they needed a detailed account of her March 2020 massage appointment with Watson. So it says their approach left her worried my words were going to be used against me. I'm going to say it like this. That's terrible. Coming from the NFL. That shows me that for some reason, this is coming from a billion-dollar company that for some reason can't afford to see that this guy is clearly wrong for what the hell he's doing. Now, granted, we don't know if he's innocent or guilty. We have no idea. But at the same time, he has not only not spoken about the whole thing, the situation is still going on for as long as it has. And there's been 22, maybe 23, 25, 30 allegations against this dude for all of this going on with the sexual allegations. It's crazy. Choco, what's going on with Deshaun Watson is one of the victims that came out there to speak about the situation. The NFL investigators, not the ones from Houston, not the ones from CIA, not the ones from anything like that. The NFL investigators came out and they literally sat up there and they asked the woman what was she wearing when all of that happened with the victim and the quarterback Deshaun Watson. And of course that rightfully pissed her off because for something like that happened, you shouldn't need to know what a person was wearing. Especially when it was a massage appointment. So the victim felt like any of the words that she would have to say next, she felt like it was going to be used against her. Which is so crazy to me. Now, here's one other thing that came up. This is not the only person. We have another one right here where it says, my forensic interview with the Houston Police Department was very respectful and trauma-informed. This person named Lauren Baxley who came out as well to speak about it. They said, she said that they let me speak they let me speak uninterrupted, whereas with Lisa and the other NFL investigators, they would cut me off. They would start questioning things. They would circle back on certain stuff too. Baxley said that they believed that they were trying to trip her up. They didn't, but they were really looking for a weakness that they thought that they could exploit. Now, you want to know what this tells me? This tells me that the NFL is trying the best they can to keep Deshaun Watson on the field so that way they can make more money off the Houston Texans fans. Because they know damn well if Deshaun Watson's not on the field, the Texans, which, let's be honest, that's in general, because he don't want to stay there, even if he's innocent. Even if Deshaun Watson is innocent, What does it matter if the Houston Texans fans don't even want to put money into the games because the Texans ain't shit for a team? Not surprised. This happens in soccer with gigs, though, etc. Though the NFL is trying to protect themselves. Here's the deal, though, Naruto. The NFL can still protect themselves by just coming clean. Be like, bro, what he's doing, this is his fault. He's a grown-ass man. He lets this shit happen. Deshaun Watson, as it said, is what, 28 years old? He's a grown-ass man. He's a grown-ass man. He's responsible for his own actions, like how all of us are. We are responsible for our own actions, responsible for our own wrongdoings. So for the NFL to sit up here and try their best to shield this dude, like, no, don't shield him. He fucked up. Let him and his lawyers handle it. I don't know why the NFL is really going so far as to get involved with all this. And really, this is really not their place to get into. In my personal opinion, it's really not. Especially when 22, 30 people come out and, you know, they say what they got to say. But, yeah, pretty much the NFL did not make any of those investigators available for interviews. They didn't make them available for interviews, but a league spokesperson wrote, "We are grateful to the women who came forward to share their experiences, and we recognize how difficult talking about these issues may be as we try to understand the facts of the matter." I feel like that's some shit that you're basically supposed to say. I feel like it's all just words just for the media. You know, it's nothing too crazy because the way how I see it is they're not taking it seriously. Not only are they not taking it seriously, but they're also just trying to protect Watson and get him back on the field. That's really it. Harlan has previously said that all 22 plaintiffs are lying about Watson's conduct and that any sexual acts that took place during Watson's massage appointments were consensual. Now, here's the deal. Maybe Choco can go ahead and shed some light on this, but I don't know how long it takes for cases like these to end, because we are basically approaching football season. The whole thing happened back on April 2nd, April 3rd, maybe. All of this stuff had to have happened back on April. We are in August. It's about to be September. That's exactly what it is, Naruto. It's going to make them look very, very bad because they tried to sit up there and stick their nose in when really I feel like they didn't have to. But yeah, like I said, maybe Choco can shed some light on this because she's from the Houston area. Maybe she knows how the Houston police stuff works, how the Houston court stuff works. I don't know how long it takes for cases like this to get settled, but this is what I do know. We're about to be in September, and there's still nothing that we've heard over this whole situation. So as far as I'm concerned, this is on top of the fact that Deshaun Watson does not want to stay in Houston. Now, here's the deal. Houston's fucked either way. But they're trying to get out of a less fucked situation. They're hoping for Deshaun Watson to be innocent, so then that way, if he's innocent, they can trade him for picks. But here's the thing that makes it even more nutty, because I feel like even if he's innocent, because of the fact that he has not attended any form of training camp, he has not done any mini camps, he has not been a part of anything, plus they don't know what his condition is, they may not get the trade package that they want out of him. They're probably going to get somewhere around like just maybe one first rounder out of him. But other than that, the least I can see, the highest I can see is probably either the third or maybe a second, depending on the team. That's all I can really see. This is also more harder because of the fact that all 32 teams now, they have a quarterback. All 32 teams in the NFL have a quarterback. The Vikings have a quarterback. Even though it's Kirk Cousins and he's a bridge, he's still their quarterback for the next couple of years. The Bears, they just drafted Justin Fields. The Broncos might be one of the only teams that may even call them because they don't know if they trust Drew Lock. So you can say the Broncos is up there. The Buccaneers, they have Tom Brady, and they're going to be grooming another quarterback, so no. The Cardinals, they have Kyler Murray. The Chargers have Justin Herbert. The Dolphins have Tua Tagovailoa. The Eagles have Justin Hurts. I'm Justin Hurts. The Eagles have, what the fuck is wrong with me? Justin Hurts. The Eagles have Jalen Hurts. Jesus Christ, I'm terrible. That's how you know I'm fucked up. The Falcons have Matt Ryan, who they can draft another quarterback with because he's not going to last that long. The 49ers just drafted Trey Lance. The Packers have Jordan Love, and they have Aaron Rodgers. So Jordan Love's going to get one more year under Aaron Rodgers, then he'll be named the starter. The Panthers just picked up Sam Darnold. You know, etc. You go with my point. They have a lot of stuff. A lot of teams have quarterbacks. So it makes it even harder for them to narrow down their choice. Also, the Saints could be an option. The Saints can be an option because the Saints don't have a quarterback right now. But you get my point. So the way how I see it with this whole thing, with this whole Deshaun Watson case, it's disgusting. And it's disturbing. Now, if he's innocent, I will come back to this if he's innocent and make my apologies. I have no problem with that. But as far as I'm concerned right now, with all this information given and nothing right now that has been said as true evidence, instead of what we're shown, this is looking like to be a very, very bad situation for Deshaun Watson. And it's looking like a very disgusting one that might get him out of the league. Because first off, if you look at it, that's sexual harassment. That's what that is. It's sexual harassment. Doing what he did to those women, 22 of those women, not only is that harassment, that can get him in jail. Long jail time. So, we will find out and see from there where all of that goes. Yeah, until then, guys, if you have any last thoughts, whether about the topics today, whether it's about Twitch, whether it's about Glimesh, whether it's about Trovo, whether it's about this with Deshaun Watson, whether it's about my mental state, you guys are absolutely free to go ahead and give your final thoughts. Because, yeah, I'll go ahead. I mean, have y'all at it. You said you think this is going to damage the NFL too. Honestly, it's not going to damage the NFL all that much. This is the same company that set up there and had the whole Ray Rice situation happen. This is the same company that allowed Ray Rice to be forgiven. He's not in the league. He's not in there as a player anymore, but he is in there still in the league as something where the dude sat up there and practically punched his wife to a point where she hit the railing on the in like when she was inside the elevator. When he punched her, she hit the railing. So that was forgiven. This is also the same league that let Greg Hardy go, despite the fact that Greg Hardy, who used to be of the Dallas Cowboys and the Carolina Panthers, he sat up there and took his girlfriend and not only slapped her up a bit, punched her up a bit, but he also threw her into a pile of weapons. So there's that. This is also the same league. While he's still in the league and while he's practically been forgiven because he's shown to be a better man, even though he's still going to catch this, though. He's still wrong for it. This is the same league that sat up there and let Joe Mixon go ahead and get drafted, despite the fact that coming out of the draft, Joe Mixon sat up there and punched his girlfriend. Badly punched his girlfriend. This is the same league that sat up there and let Tyreek Hill, yes, Chiefs wide receiver Tyreek Hill, sat up there and go, despite having a situation happen where he sat up there and bloodied his girlfriend while she was pregnant. So, yeah. But here's the deal, though. This is the same league that, that lets all that happen. But when people like Randy Gregory from the Dallas Cowboys, when for example, when people like Josh Gordon, yeah, yeah, yeah. But when you let people like Josh Gordon sit up there and they smoke weed, they're suspended for God knows how long. Now, I feel bad for people like Josh Gordon. I feel bad for people like Randy Gregory in a sense because all they ever wanted to do was smoke weed. They're not harming anybody. And here's what I don't understand. Smoking weed for the NFL had been a banned substance for years. And I don't think it showed any effects for these players to sit up there and boost their play. I don't think smoking weed boosts your play on the field. I don't think smoking weed all of a sudden, okay, I take this hit of weed and all of a sudden I catch 5 balls for like 500 yards and have 3 touchdowns in one game. I don't think smoking weed means all of a sudden I'm gonna just start hit sticking people to the point where they start fumbling the ball like 3 times a game. I don't think weed does that. I don't think it's not supposed to do that. It wasn't meant for that. But hey, this is the same NFL that sits up there and had it as a banned substance for a while, until recently. Well, all of a sudden they decided to go ahead and they decided to sit up there and now all of a sudden make it so you can smoke weed now. I immediately, when they made that illegal rule, I immediately looked at people like Josh Gordon and I said, yo, I'm so sorry for all that bullshit you had to put up with. Just for that, they should have rescinded all of his suspensions that he has gotten, and he deserves all that payment that he sat up there and did not get. Now, granted, Josh Gordon, he also needs some help because he did more than just weed. Josh Gordon was doing LSD, was doing cocaine too. He was doing that kind of shit too. But more often than not, he was doing weed. And still, for the fact that he was doing mostly weed and he caught the suspensions that he was getting, it was a shame. It was terrible. Yeah, it's more for the clear mind and mail you out, but yeah, pretty much that's all it's ever been built for. It's not built for no more than that. Like, they made it seem like, okay, you do weed, you out here, you get a enhanced speed or some shit. No, you don't. Like, this is fucking Madden. You get like 10 plus speed. But yeah. Pretty much, guys, that's all I have to say for today. I thank you everybody that came by. I thank you Choco for coming by. I thank you Elphys for coming by. I thank you Marasa for coming by. I thank you Demonic for coming by. I'm sorry if for these conversations, they didn't bring much to I hope they brought some conversation, some talking for you guys. Yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed it basically. Thank you Naruto for coming by as well on the Twitter end. Much love to you. As for the schedule, there is no schedule for the rest of this week because I'm gonna go off. I'm gonna take off throughout the rest of the week, and I'm gonna go and get my mind right. I was just happy that I had decided to come by and talk about all of these things that were on my mind, particularly with everything that has been going down, because I know this for a fact next week, I'm not gonna want to do lightning round next week because there's nothing else I really want to sit there and talk about. But thank you guys so much for hearing me out. Thank you for taking the time out to come by. Thank you for showing me love. Hopefully I'll be able to see you guys back here next week when I do more streams again. As always, every second, every minute, every hour you got spent with me is every second, every minute, every hour I'm blessed and so very, very thankful for. Thank you guys for being an amazing community for me. Stay safe, wear masks, don't be a dickhead to your fellow people, and I'll see you all next week.